And so begins another summer of walking through the parking lot in the heat, all the way up there to the Rio. It's actually pretty reasonable weather. I think it's normally like boiling by this point, so we're all starting the summer with some proper run good. We are officially in the mix here at the World Series of Poker 2019, 50th anniversary, all that stuff. They got me back here in the Miranda Room for the Big 50 tournament. The Miranda Room, it's kind of like the Excalibur of the rooms here available at the Rio Convention Center, if you catch my drift. You don't really feel part of the WSOP until you're at least in the Pavilion Room, preferably in the Amazon Room, but for now, Miranda Room. There's also like apparently $1 million in cash right here. I don't see any guards, so I feel like it's probably not real. Anyway, we start with 50K in chips. I'm probably gonna make these updates throughout the series. I'm thinking make them pretty fast, pretty quick paced. Try and get a lot of poker in and not worry too much about too artistic of shots. But we'll see, sometimes I get carried away and stuff, as you guys know. All right, I got about 55 or 56,000 off that 50K starting stack. Table looks promising. Let's go. All right, guys, it is first break of this tournament. I have about 65,000 off of the 50,000 starting chips. Let's see, we had a hand that we won with pocket queens. I 3-bet it and it came king, jack 10. Checked through. I put in the delay c-bet on the blank turn and that gets it done. Lost a hand with pocket jacks where I opened from under the gun and got 3-bet from a competent player in the middle. And flop came all low cards, called a c-bet. Turn was another low card, checked fold. His c-bets were pretty big on both the flop and the turn, so just decided to give it up. I don't think we need to get into too many marginal spots like that in this tournament, at least not at this point. Won one more hand where I 3-bet the king 8 of hearts. Facing an open from the hijack, he had been playing a lot of hands. If comes king high, king queen rainbow, check check for pot control. Turn his second club, I call a bet from him, and the river is a really bad card. It's the queen of clubs, third club on board, pairs the queen. He puts out another bet. Maybe kind of tough spot, but don't want a full top pair when I've under-bet my hand that far. So I go ahead and call it since he's played a lot of hands and he shows us jack 10 offsuit. So that is the one draw that we can beat. All right, going back in. By the way, this weather continues to be amazing. It is now raining out here slightly, but no complaints. Normally, as mentioned, boiling. Right, so this is not the Rio anymore. This is the Bellagio Valet, the North Valet. Pretty tilted. Was super card dead for a while and folded a lot of marginal spots, a lot of spots where I probably would call back in the day. But I reached my sort of breaking point, I think. There was an early middle position open, playing 500, 1,000, 1,000 big blind ante. He opens for 2,500, I think. There's a call in middle position, and I look down an ace queen with an ace of hearts, and I make it 8,000 to go. The initial raiser folds like I expect him to do a pretty decent amount of the time, and the middle position player thinks for a while, and then he makes the call. We go heads up to a flop of 4-3-2 with 2 hearts. He checks it to me and I decide to check it back. In hindsight, it's gonna be a pretty crucial decision there to check it back. The turn is the 10 of hearts, giving us the nut flush draw. And he goes ahead and jams all in, which covers me. I have about 30,000 in chips. A really frustrating and tough spot, because now we have the nut flush draw plus gutter ball plus 2 overcards potentially. I would never expect him to just jam all in there with a flush. I think he would bet smaller for value. He could have a hand like pocket 5s in which he's blocking 2 of our straight draw holdings. I think often he's just gonna have a 10 or some single pair holding. Maybe a hand like 4-5. I don't think he's gonna have too strong a hand like a set or a straight or a flush. Blinds were going up pretty soon, albeit not a big jump, but they were going up pretty soon. I got sick of it, I called it off, and we're up against 10-8 of diamonds, so we need help, but we do have lots of options to find help, which do not come on the river. So that's pretty frustrating. Played patiently up until that point, and then just kind of got sick of it. Not sure I love my check back on the flop, and then it ends up putting us in a really tough spot there on the turn. I think if we had C-bet small on the flop, obviously in results-oriented thinking, he would just fold, but even if he continues with a lot of pairs, and the turn comes the 10 of hearts, then we can put maximum pressure and just jam all in ourselves. And he's gonna be forced to fold a lot of his hands, like pocket fives and things like that. Maybe, maybe not, who knows. Anyway, just gonna try and shake off this tournament tilt here. Probably chill for like 20 minutes or so and then hop into some 5-10 action, or at least check it out. Check out the games over here at the Bellagio. The weather out here is absolutely perfect. If it could just stay right here through the rest of the World Series, life would be good. Life is good anyway. We're on the move again. So played over here at the Bellagio for a couple of hours, got some food, de-tilted, won some money back. We got into the game for $1,500 and cashed out an additional $871. There was 5 games over here. One of them looked pretty good. The rest of them may be like slightly above average, but not amazing. I think we're still ramping up a little bit this World Series. It's only really like basically day 1. Okay, maybe day 2. So I'm actually gonna be on the move again here as mentioned. I'm gonna go over to the Aria and I wanna take a look at the PLO games because they have 5 1-2-5 PLO games going right now. That's a lot. They also have 5-5 going, they have 5-10 going. So I imagine there should be some decent action to be found in those 1-2-5 PLO games. Again, not exactly my specialty as we know, but I definitely want to try and, you know, sort of take in a couple different locations here off the bat and see where the action is to be found. Guys, I don't care what Joe Ingram tells you, do not play PLO. It is the worst game ever created. Or it could just be that I'm terrible at it. I've come to accept that I'm officially terrible at pot limit Omaha. I think I'm gonna swear it off for the rest of the series. This is a no limit hold'em series. I think maybe, we'll see. Anyway, we lose $1,500 over here in the PLO. Disaster. Game was okay. I mean, it actually wasn't too bad, especially with me in there. With me in there, it was actually a pretty good game. So we start day 1 of the World Series of Poker 2019 on a sour note. We're in the hole, but it's only day 1. So let's see, we lose 500 in the tournament. We lose 1,500 over here, that's 2,000. We win 8 whatever at the Bellagio 5-10 no limit. That means we lose 1,100 and something. I can't remember what the number was at the Bellagio, but we're back at it tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go over to the Rio and register. I look pretty tired, so I think that's the plan. I think I'm gonna go register for tomorrow's flight for the Big 50, do it all over again. See you then.